Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Everyday EDC. My name is Tyler, and today I have a gold class review for you. Gold class being $150 to $300 review of the Protech Godfather in the SWAT series. In the SWAT? Protech Godfather SWAT series. Take two. All right, guys, so we got the Protech Godfather SWAT. So, what's really cool about Protech, and I forgot, right, because I wasn't really carrying Protechs. Full disclosure, I kind of just don't appeal to the stiletto style design of this knife. So, I didn't choose to carry it. I've had this thing for like 3 months. It sat in a box, and I'm like, dude, I got to review it. I just kind of sold some real quick because I was needing a little bit of money, you know what I mean? So, I had to get this review out. So I started carrying it and I'm like, okay, let's take a look at this. Well, this thing's got a lot to offer, but it's so simple. So we have some aluminum or aircraft grade aluminum 6061 scales going on here that are just flat with some light chamfering. Well, I'll say it's shallow chamfering, but large, right? Coming all the way out to the edges. You got some really uniform looking just angles going on there. You have this flare out coming down to what you might call the pommel, but it's not really a pommel because it has no pommel. Anyways, so it kind of flares out here and then flares out here. Again, the same thing. You got a pocket clip that is extremely large and right hand only, but it fits the design. I mean, it's just about halfway up. I mean, it makes sense, right? You have a captive pivot, which is a hex, and then you have 3 hex screws over here. Annoyingly enough, you have Torx screws right there. Protech uses hex sometimes. It is what it is, and hex is something that we always have. Torx is usually the one that we have to go constantly by because heads are stripping, unless you have the Weeha series. As you can see back here, the seams aren't quite seamless, but they look and fit really well. We have the stop pin right there that stops right at the seams, and the fit and finish of this guy is actually really incredible. So let's take a fire. Whoop. You guys see that? That thing fires freaking hard. This is a really hard firing knife. This blade is just deadly looking, which is why it's called the Godfather. It's got that Italian stiletto feel to it, right? You have, it's not really a swedge. It's got like a false edge going on down here, but then it all comes to, they call it a hollow grind on some sites. It kind of looks more like a flat grind to me, but the way it kind of comes up to this edge here, it might be slightly hollow because you have that ridge going on down the full length of the blade. It comes to a spear point in the end, and it's just this very large blade it's pretty wicked looking, honestly. You got the Protech logo right there, 154 cm on the back, and that's really it. And then you have the stop pin right there. So this is operated by the typical plunge lock system. You press and it goes. Whoop. You cannot pull it out. Obviously, it's already in there. And then the profile of this is just kind of like, yeah, you know, it's just kind of like a stick. It works. It's just like a little popsicle stick. So, without further ado, let's get you guys some specs of this Protech Godfather SWAT edition. FYI, I'm pretty sure the only difference between SWAT and the what do they call it? The Black Ops or whatever it's called is a tritium freaking insert right here that glows in the dark, but I'm sure they're charging you like 40 bucks more. Just throwing that out there. I don't think there's any other difference. This weight is coming in at 4.3 ounces, which sounds like a lot, but for how large this guy actually is, it's not that bad. I don't have a problem with that weight whatsoever because it's really not an issue with how large this guy actually is. All right, so the overall length looks like it's coming in right at about 9 1/4. The blade length itself is coming in at about 4 inches, and the overall cutting edge is coming just over 3 3/4. You're looking at more like 3 4/5 maybe overall cutting edge. So you're getting quite a bit there. Forgot to mention the sharpening choil is done perfectly. The plunge guide comes in and the sharpening choil starts where the plunge guide ends. Let's get you guys some blade stock thickness. So the blade stock starts out relative thick. Not thick, but thicker than you would expect. 1.25 or 125 thousandths. But the behind the edge comes down to just about 20 thousandths, maybe 25 thousandths behind the edge. Does that stay consistent? Yeah, it's about 25 thousandths behind the edge. So it's not going to be ultra slicey, but this thing's like one of your best puncturing knives that I've ever held in my life, which can translate into the word stabby. Yes, it looks very stabby. The overall thickness is coming in at 0.5 inches, and the overall height is coming in at a whopping 1.06 inches. All right, let's get to some size comparisons. So here is your Civivi Brazen and your Civivi Elementum. As you can see, this is dwarfing both of those knives. The Protech Godfather is a massive, massive boy. Here is your Rat Model 1 and your Rat Model 2. Rat Model 1's coming in close, but the tip over here is coming in much longer. It's kind of making that look even smaller. I forgot to show you guys the inside of that. I was going to show you if there's any milling, and there's not. So it's just a flat slab of aluminum. Here is your Cold Steel 8010, very large knife, obviously much larger but not longer. And here is your Wee Banter, obviously much, much smaller. And then last but not least, a section of knives, at least one of them, that I really think comes very close and kind of epitomizes what this thing is. And you can get this for so much cheaper. The Spyderco Man Bug. Yeah, funny. You know, when you tell a joke and you're talking to a camera or a phone versus somebody else kind of laughing at you, calling you an idiot, it really defeats for me, I wanted to laugh, but then I felt like an idiot laughing at my own joke. That was dumb. All right, here's the Spyderco PM2. As you can see, the PM2 is a long, large knife, and it's nowhere near the size of this. So what do I like about this knife? So first and foremost, Protech fires freaking hard, and this is no exception. It fires hard, the lockup's good. It has a little bit of back and forth, but you know, it's an older knife. This guy's had this for a while. Other than that, everything's really good. The centering is damn near perfectly centered. So the fit and finish on Protech is just phenomenal. I mean, it's really, really good. The lines, I don't like the aesthetics of this knife, but I do like the lines. I mean, it looks cool. And then you look at the overall picture, and I really don't like the flaring aesthetics of the Italian stiletto. But a straight lined knife is pretty sweet. Ergonomic wise, I really do enjoy the ergonomic freedom that you have with this, because this handle is a whopping like 4.5 inches or whatever. It's just massive. And I just really enjoy that, right? The fit and finish, like I kind of talked about before, it just looks so good. I mean, they almost hid this steel lock bar. Or, I'm sorry, stop pin. I wish they would have done it black, but it kind of defeats the purpose because it's just going to rub off anyways, right? But, yeah. And, oh, my God, did I say it fires freaking hard? Now, jumping into that, I already mentioned a dislike, and it's more subjective, is the flare. I just don't like the look of the Italian stiletto style or the stabby-looking knives. But the puncturing style of this thing's going to puncture like an absolute monster. And here's the other last one. This thing's coming in at about $210. That's on Blade HQ. Now, my issue that I have with that is this is 154 cm. 154 cm is great, but it has a slight step up in CPM 154, which is 154's powdered version, right? Why didn't we do that? This is $210. Why didn't we do the powdered version of this to make a better uniformed steel? Now, 154 is still really good, but for $210, I kind of would have expected CPM 154. And that's maybe that has something to do with the automatic knife world or something. I got to look up some of the other Protechs to see where they're falling. But that just $210, 154. It's not hard to swallow. It's just, why didn't you upgrade it, right? And then jumping into my last category of wants. What else could I want in this knife? Absolutely nothing. So despite me not liking the overall design, everything is awesome. I mean, it does everything that it's trying to do. It fit and finish is great. The ergonomics are great. It fires great, and it's accomplishing exactly what it wants. The Italian stiletto look. Whether or not you like that, you can't deny that they hit the nail on the head with this, guys. And 210 bucks, despite not being happy with the blade steel, that's not a bad price. That is all I got for you guys. This is the Protech Godfather SWAT edition. My name is Tyler. This has been Everyday EDC. You guys stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great freaking rest of your day, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. This is my Patreon. This is my Instagram, everydayedc_77. I'm going to do a special shout out to all the Patreons: John K, Sammy, Eggs and Ham, Jason M, Dogtooth, Kaiba, Mickey, Wolf, and Captain Steve. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great freaking day.